This is really one of the coolest watches I've filmed this year. Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch Gang. Today's watch is so cool that I had a tough time filming it. Why? Because when I set up the shot, I just stood there and jeweled all over it. After a lot of persistence, I finally made it. We're going to take a closer look at the newly launched Girard-Perregaux Tourbillon with 3 flying bridges. Not just any model, this is the latest exclusive Bucherer Blue edition, and it's actually available for purchase. This watch ticks all my watch geek boxes. In a nutshell, it has a rich history, a unique skeletonized movement, a tourbillon, it's super light, and it's super rare. To really understand the importance of this watch, I have to take you back in time to the 1860s, when Constant Girard introduced his beautiful pocket watch with the 3 bridges construction. The pocket watch later won the gold medal at the World's Fair in Paris in 1889. The idea was to redesign the movement bridges, shaping them like an arrow and putting them in parallel to give them an integral role in the design. There is many recognizable watches today, but when you think about iconic movement designs, there's not that many. I think the 3 bridges design is one of them, and a movement construction only used by Girard-Perregaux, and something I always admired. It's said to be the oldest movement design in the watch industry still produced today. I love the symmetry and simplicity of it and how it does the job in an elegant way. The bridges line is very popular at Girard-Perregaux, and there has been many iterations and even some design changes. There's the arrow-shaped bridge construction like you see on the La Esmeralda Tourbillon, the Mini Repeater Tourbillon, the Triaxial Tourbillon Mini Repeater and others. Then you have the more modern redesign of the bridges with the Free Bridge, the Neo Bridge Earth to Sky Edition, Neo Tourbillon, Cosmos, and GP calls these Neo Bridges. Neo Bridges can also be found in the watch we'll talk about today. Part of the sought-after Bucherer Blue line, this watch is truly up my alley. Its skeletonization is remarkable, and it makes the movement seem as though it's floating inside the case. What stands out the most are obviously the 3 bridges. Created in a more modern Neo design, these are actually polished by hand, one by one, and you can really see the straight and wide beveling once you take a close look at them. They are thinner in the middle and get wider towards the ends, which are razor sharp. The tips of the bridges remind you of a sword, since once I got close to them, they look like you could cut something with it. The precision and expertise in polishing is really visible on these small and distinct details. What also makes this watch a Bucherer Blue edition is the color of the light titanium bridges. The blue coating is actually ALD, short for atomic layer deposition, a coating cycle of 4 steps that is repeated as many times as necessary to achieve the required thickness. What is also cool is that the top bridges are connected to the backside bridges, which you can see from both sides. So essentially there is no main plate on this watch. The 3 bridges on the front and the 3 on the back hold all the gears and components together and are attached on the inner side of the case. This is the floating aspect I talked about. At 6 o'clock you can also see a tourbillon beating away at 3 Hz and shaped in a specific Laia-shaped form known for GP. The tourbillon is made out of titanium, is hand finished, which can be prominently seen on the cage and even features a seconds indicator tip. The tip is blue, as are the cage screws, to accentuate the Bucherer Blue edition. To give you an idea of complexity, the whole tourbillon escapement is constructed out of 79 components, weighing a mere 0.25 grams. Reading the time is very easy with the help of the Dauphin type polished skeletonized hands. Although this watch looks very complicated, it's a time-only watch. The minutes are another cool element of this model. The applied titanium indexes are part of the titanium ring which goes around the inner side of the case and are nicely visible and prominent. The hands or indexes feature white superluminova with a blue emission, which looks fun and is actually pretty strong. The tourbillon is visually one of my favorite features in a watch. I love making slow motion videos with them, where you can really see the beating of the balance spring and cage rotating. It's also nice to make a cool time lapse where you can admire the full 60-second rotation it makes. While filming this watch, I also noticed how well polished some components are by hand. Even the part where the crown setting is, you can find mirror polishing. This watch is actually very practical for an everyday wear since it's an automatic. You probably didn't notice it from the front or even the back, but there is a small micro rotor hidden somewhere. It's hidden here at 12 o'clock below the skeletonized winding barrel. The micro rotor, which is visible from the back of the watch, is made out of 18 karat white gold and features engraving on the side which says Tourbillon Flying Bridges. You can also see that this model boasts the 9400 GP caliber, a caliber with 60 hours of power reserve, but again, don't worry about that, if you wear it daily, you're fine, since you have the micro rotor. On the barrel we have another specialty of this edition, an engraving covered in blue lacquer. From the back, the watch is as spectacular as it's from the front. It's almost a mirror, and again, I'm a sucker for symmetry, which this model has plenty of. From the back you can again see the neo bridge design, thin in the middle and sloped at the ends to really hold everything in place. As I said, there's no main plate, so the view is unobstructed from both sides. Perfect for a watch geek like me, and if you're a regular viewer of my videos, that includes you as well. If you take your loop, you will also see that some of the gears feature polishing on the inner sides. And at 12 o'clock behind the barrel you can find the lyre-shaped gear, same as a tourbillon bridge on the front. The watch features two domed scratch-resistant sapphire crystals to protect the movement, which you can really see once you check out the watch on the profile. Overall, the case is thin, has practically no bezel and features polished lugs and case pack and satin finished sides. The buckle is satin finished titanium as well, the case pack is screwed in with 4 screws, and did I mention that all the tiny screws on the movement are actually mirror polished? Overall, I think this watch is really well made and fun to wear. On the wrist it's extremely light, since it's made of titanium and the movement is stripped down. The watch comes on a grey calf leather strap and fits like a glove. The thickness of the case is 15.52 mm and the diameter is 44 mm. Since it has no bezel, it looks smaller on the wrist, and if you have a chance, go try it on. The Bucherer Blue collection features many special editions with many brands they carry, all the way from Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, Tudor, Chopard, Baume & Mercier and many more. This is also not the first Girard-Perregaux they made. I really like the scrutinized Laureato Absolute Light with a sapphire case that is just badass. If you wanna see and purchase this watch, it's a limited edition of 18 pieces. Bucherer likes to play with the numbers since it was founded in 1888 and it's still a family business run by Mr. Jörg G. Bucherer, the third generation of the company. The price of this model is 159,000 Swiss francs, and if you want to read more about it, you can check out the link in my video description. If you're looking to buy a watch in this price category and you're a fan of skeletonization and tourbillons, this is definitely a worthy contender to consider. This video is made in partnership with Bucherer, who makes it possible for us to make cool videos like this for you. And if you remember, we made a fun video with them already about 5 iconic watches, which I'll link down below as well. If you're not subscribed, hit those like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss out on my videos. Let me know what you think about this watch, would you like to own it, and which Girard-Perregaux is your favorite. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you all next week for another very unique video.